S.A.V.E.S is an acronym. First part is C. Here's what I mean by that. What are the small signs that let you know that your partner is in distress, possibly triggered? What are those signs that help you to know that? So in other words, you have to start with awareness. Now, the reality is that we're all looking at these signs non-consciously. Our right brains are always scanning social cues. What are the signs? What are the cues? Well, she's really quiet. She turns her back to me when I walk in. Let's know what they are. Let's not let them just be read implicitly. Let's make them explicit so we can notice them. We start with awareness, okay? Then the question is, what then do we do with the awareness? You've got to know those cues, and then as soon as you recognize that they're going on, you've got to decide, what am I going to do with this? Because here's what often happens. Here's what a lot of folks do when they see their betrayed partner's signs of distress. 1, run away, go hide, hope it blows over. 2, they ignore it and try to make light of it or distract them, talk about something else, cheer them up, change the subject, something like that. 3, they anticipate a fight and go ahead and start it. What's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Let me tell you, all 3 of those are not going to get you what you want. Not if what you want is a secure, healthy, close, warm attachment relationship with your partner. What do all 3 of those say? Running away says, I'm out, I'm gone. Does that help the attachment? No. Number 2 says, you're putting out these signals, I'm going to ignore them. I don't see you. And even if I do see you, I don't care enough to respond to these signals that you're putting out. Not consciously, but in the right brain. That's the experience of it. Or number 3, you're attacking me. You're not safe. All triggers are ultimately a fear of disconnection or loss of the relationship. You think about it, go all the way to the bottom of the iceberg of that trigger. What's it really about? Okay, she saw you on your phone and she's triggered. What's that about? It's not about porn. What's the problem with porn? Porn's a threat. Threat to what? To her. In what way? What would she lose? You in your relationship. That's the threat. Every single trigger that's a trigger from betrayal trauma, it's about loss of the relationship or disconnection. And so if I run away or I send the message, I don't see you, or I send the message, you're not safe, I'm going to attack you, we're not okay, that's not going to help the trigger. So I've got to have awareness of the signs, and then I've got to decide, what am I going to do with that awareness? And what you need to do every time is lean in. Here at Daring Ventures, we say, choose connection. So what you say is, I notice, and you're very specific, and you say it warmly, you say it with soft eyes, gently. Hey, I noticed that since I walked in a few minutes ago, you've been really quiet, and you've had your back to me a lot, and your shoulders are kind of slumped. Hey, I'm noticing that you're using your hands a lot, and your voice sounds more strained, and your eyes are squinting a little bit. So I'm not saying it in a judgmental or a harsh way. I'm pointing it out, and then I flow right into the next one, which is ask. So I'm going to ask, are you triggered right now? You will never create a trigger by asking if she's triggered. It won't happen. You'll never create a trigger by asking if she's triggered. Are you triggered right now? So I noticed that you've had your back to me. You've walked away from me a lot. It seems like you're avoiding, trying to get distance from me. Are you triggered right now? Best case scenario, best answer would be, no, I had a bad burrito for lunch and it's really kind of tearing me up. Now, guess what? You don't have to tiptoe around. You don't have to be now hyper vigilant thinking a fight's going to start or something like that. Here's what's probably going to happen though. She's probably going to go, yeah, I'm triggered right now. All right, but let's talk about why these 2 steps are important to start with. What does this do for the brain? Okay, that's the question. And the answer is this. Self-reflection is a right prefrontal cortex activity. So if I say to my wife, you've been really quiet, you look sad on your face, you've kind of been sitting over there by yourself for a while, are you triggered right now? If I say that to her, I'm actually, as I'm naming that, I'm trying to help her in a way, put her prefrontal cortex back online, being self-reflective, naming these external cues, which is causing her to draw attention, turn inward, be reflective, asking that self-reflective question. Are you triggered right now? Self-reflection. So it's already pulling her out of the limbic system back into the context right there from the beginning. And then she can say, yeah, I am. Or she can say no, all right, which tells me that that wasn't going on in the first place. Or she might say, it's not a trigger from you. It was this other thing that happened. Then we can talk about that.